glasses on, glasses off. I never film in the morning, and so I just threw these on to get the day started, and now I think I'm just gonna commit to them. Anyway, hey, it's a new day and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm very excited for our topic because I've addressed things like this before in the past, but I saw Michelle Reed do this video and she does not have any children at all, and it got me thinking, what are my daily non-negotiables and things that I do every day? And I feel like I have some really good ones here. This is not going to include everything. Goodness, yes, I brush my teeth every day and take my vitamins. I'm one of those daily laundry lady people who likes to do a load a day, but I didn't want to make the video about that. I want to include maybe new and different things in this one, and if you do enjoy this video, please at the end check out my Habits of a Highly Successful Homemaker. I actually have 2 videos on that topic, and those are more habits. Today we're talking about non-negotiables, things that I do every single day. And I saw Michelle Reed do this video and I thought it was genius. She has no children, so her day looks very different from mine, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make my own version of this one. I feel like it's gonna give you some fresh eyes to look at your life and see what are your non-negotiables, and maybe there's something you'd like to try implementing. I feel like that's the best part of YouTube. You can see other people's lifestyles, try things out for yourself, see what works, what doesn't. But yeah, it just gives you that freedom to kind of experiment and see what works for you. So let's get right into it. Also, stay tuned till the end because we're gonna talk about something I did not put on my list and why it's not something that I consider a non-negotiable, unlike most other people. So let's just get the morning routine stuff out of the way first. It's very important. Honestly, some of my favorite ones are in my morning routine, but I've talked about a lot of them before, so we'll breeze through those really quickly. First of all, I am a mom of 3 and one of them is a kindergartner. She goes 3 days a week, so mornings can look a little bit different. I don't always get up at the same time. I take my temperature first thing every morning before I really move a muscle. If you want to know more about this, I can talk about that in a future video. In fact, I think I have one coming up here in April. I have been learning a lot about fertility lately and just our women's bodies, and it's just so fascinating. So stay tuned if you want to hear me cover that a little bit more. But I always get my hair combed and get dressed. I think it stems from, I mean, I have long hair, but I'm also a Mennonite, so I wear my hair up and covered. And so it's just easiest to get that out of the way in the morning. I feel presentable. I feel like I can work. Honestly, those of you who have a mom bun and like to rock that, you know what I'm talking about. When you get your hair up and out of the way, you're ready to get going. And also with getting dressed in the morning, it's just like totally ingrained in me. I would never not get dressed in the morning. That way you're prepared for anything, you know? My mom uniforms have been really simple lately. I do love getting cute and dressed up for like evening things, and if I have like an event to go to or something like that. This week I'm actually teaching a class for high schoolers, and so I've been having fun getting dressed up every day in cute outfits. And but for the most part, as a mom, I wear a lot of black, and then I'll throw on like a cardigan on top or a layering piece, something to make it a little bit more personalized, but just something very easy that I don't have to worry about. It's like no fuss. And then lately what I've been doing is adding a pair of fun socks to the mix. I don't know, I feel like it's an excuse to be young again, and it's just super fun. It adds a little bit to an outfit, and of course my daughter just gets a kick out of it too. This next one I am putting on my non-negotiables list because for me it is a non-negotiable. I want to do it every day, but I have to be honest, it doesn't happen every time, and you Christian mamas will know what I'm talking about. I like to have daily devotions. It most of the time happens. I felt like I was super faithful the year I read through the Bible in a year, but I'm still like trying to develop that habit and that discipline. And it doesn't always mean that it needs to be this lightning bolt moment from God, but just that quiet time in the morning. I get to sit by the window, start my day thinking on the truth and things that are real and true and do not change, because I feel like as a mom, your life can just so change from day to day. Just seeing your children growing up right before your eyes and just the seasons and everything that it brings. It's such an exciting lifestyle being a mom, but there's a lot of, you have to be very buoyant, a lot of changes and things happening. So it's good to just ground yourself in the Bible. And I've been doing the SOAP method lately, which is you read a scripture, S, you observe what you see in it, O, you think of a way that it could apply to your life, not what could it mean, but what is God saying? What do we learn about God through what you're reading today, and how does it apply to your life? And then P is for prayer. So I've been really enjoying that, writing in my journal. I don't do that every morning. Sometimes I'll just do like a simple devotional book, or even just read something out of the Daily Grace Co. I have a lot of their beautiful devotional books as well, and they're really pretty. But I have to say the soap method has been my favorite this year. Another non-negotiable is to let light in. I could have put that at the beginning. I know I've seen a lot of people's morning routines where they're opening the blinds. It just looks so aesthetic and pretty. That's not me. I don't do that. But my window in my bathroom is always open, so there's always natural light coming in there when I'm getting ready in the morning. And then I go outside and wait with my daughter for the bus. We like to be out there about 5 minutes early, and 5 minutes in the cold can feel really long. I'm so excited for spring weather to be coming. Just that cold air on your face and the sunlight coming into your eyeballs. I do this with my son when I wake him up in the morning. I have to have his room nice and dark so that he doesn't know when the sun comes up in the morning. But then when I get him up, I'll push up the blinds and we will look outside for squirrels and for puppies and people walking, whatever we can see. I feel like it's very foundational to keep your circadian rhythm going. And you guys know kids need to have a very good natural clock, otherwise you ain't sleeping much. So at this point you've seen my baby and my oldest, but I do have a son that's in the middle as well, and he's super fun in the mornings. And yeah, he's always looking for this morning he just saw robins out and he's like, Mom, I saw the bird with the brown back and the red belly. That means it's springtime. I'm like, you got it, that's right. Another non-negotiable I'm super passionate about is sometime throughout the day, I like to look for opportunities for creativity. And you might think as a mom, there's not a lot of opportunities for that, but there is so many. Just think about it. I mean, pretty food, you're cooking all day, right? You might be decorating your home or a tablescape, doing arts and crafts with your kids. I like to use my planner as an outlet for creativity if I'm feeling it, use a pretty highlighter. Sometimes I will just randomly sit down at my piano and play a song, and the kids are like, okay, they're used to it by now, whatever, Mom, Sometimes they like to come up and play too, but it's not a long thing. Like I literally might just set my wash basket down, play a verse of Swing Low Sweet Chariots or something, and then head off to the laundry. It's super, super impromptu and spontaneous. Fancy coffee drinks. I love to make myself a really bougie coffee drink when the kids go down for their naps once in a while, and I look forward to it so much. Probably more the creating of it even than the drinking of it. They're both equally fun. Or maybe you like to garden or whatever that is. Look for little moments that you can be creative throughout your day. I definitely don't think you should let that part of you die just because you are running a household. Another non-negotiable in my life is easy breakfast. We do not have complicated breakfasts in the morning. We love eggs, but you have to be creative to make eggs that you can make ahead of time. So one of our favorites is German pancakes. That takes a lot of eggs and it's very full of protein, but you can make it ahead of time and eat it the next day after that. Traditional pancakes are a favorite around here. Also, breakfast sandwiches, bagels, anything that's like you can batch cook. And I love baked oatmeal. It can be so seasonal. You can do the apples and cinnamon in the winter and add the fresh berries in the summer. I rarely make a breakfast in the mornings. One morning I might wake up and make baked oatmeal and then we are good to go for a couple days. It's not the making of the breakfast that I don't like. Like I enjoy that part. It's the cleanup afterwards. If you're making bacon and eggs and toast, and I feel like you used up half your morning on the breakfast dishes, So I am a fan of batch breakfast and I have a whole video on some of my favorites. If you're a little skeptical about batch cooking a breakfast, there's so many different options out there and I'm very passionate about this one. My next non-negotiable is to seek out the kids. Honestly, I feel like my whole life stems around trying to spend more time with my children. Like I do everything so that I can spend more time with my kids. All the productivity tips that I implement, everything is just pointing to having more time to be a mom and spend with my kids. And I know that might not be normal for everyone, but I, have YouTube going on and momming and I'm a wife and I just have a lot of irons in the fire. And so I feel like that's what I'm striving to do throughout the day most of the time. How can I spend more time with my kids? And one way I like to do that is to find them so they don't have to come find me when I'm like in the middle of a project or something. If I just, I have a couple minutes here, I'll plop down on the floor and play trains with them or read a book or very small but frequent moments of just looking for them and just kind of connecting a tiny little bit. It doesn't have to be that deep. Driving in the car is also a good time for this. You can get some good conversations going, even with a 3 and a 5-year-old.
And it turns into like this black caterpillar with like this like red horn sticking up.
Oh.
And red spots. And then it turns into a green one, cocoon, and then it's a butterfly.
Oh, are they poisonous when they're caterpillars?
I do not know.
My next non-negotiable kind of goes with the sunlight thing, but it is fresh air, and I thought it was worth mentioning because you gotta plan it to make it happen, I feel. Especially we just came through winter, it was a lot harder. And there's a lot of mom tasks that are just indoors. If you think about it, a lot of things happen inside the 4 walls of our home. So I feel like it's important to plan those times to be outside, back the car out of the garage and clean it when you're outside, go on the walks with the kids, play in the leaves, push them on the swing for a little bit. It is a little harder when you have that barrier of having to bundle everybody up first. It almost feels like you should commit to a longer amount of time. But as spring comes into play here and you know, you can just find those little moments to be outside in the fresh air. We are trying, well, I'm not gonna say we're trying to do the 1,000 hours outdoors. We are just documenting what we do and trying to do the best we can and see where we land. We live in Lancaster County, beautiful countryside. Like there's no excuse why we shouldn't reach 1,000 hours, but I also am aware of reality. And so we're just doing the best we can this year. And you will notice on this list that I haven't mentioned anything about working out. That's unfortunately not one of my non-negotiables in this season of my life, but to stay active is. And I get very buggy if for the most of the day I've just been puttering around the house or doing computer work, things like that. I can get very antsy. And so usually throughout the day, we are being active in some way. And if not, when my husband comes home from work, I will have my shoes on already, grab the dog leash, and we will go on a walk, a brisk, 15, 20 minute, 30 minute walk, and just get some fresh air in the system, get your heart up and going. And then I feel like it's just a reset for the rest of the evening, and everything just goes so much better if I get my walk in. Another thing that's a non-negotiable for me is community. I feel like we can sometimes feel like we are all alone as mothers, but I just can't function that way. I need to have community in my life, whether that is just WhatsApping my friends throughout the day or going over to the farm and talking to my mom, stopping in at my grandma. We love to hang out with her. She lives locally, and I don't know, it's just great to listen to stories from generations past. And my grandma's so young at heart yet, I feel like we're just friends regardless of the grandma-granddaughter thing. I do go to a Bible study once a month. In fact, that's happening tonight, and I just appreciate those times so much. There's birthday parties to celebrate, or if you have nothing going, sometimes you just have to plan that play date. And sometimes it can feel frustrating when you always have to be the one doing the planning, but there's different stages in life, and I feel like things will come back to you if you put in the effort. If you are seeking that community and not getting it, make it happen, be creative, and put yourself out there a little bit. I know it can be tough and kind of vulnerable, but it's really important. That's another reason I also love YouTube. Although it's not real community, it also is fun to pop on a video of another mom who's doing her mom life too, and I feel like we're kind of co-workers in a way, and that's kind of fun. It's like, oh, you get that, you understand what's going on. Yeah, you're not alone, that's for sure. One of my favorite daily non-negotiables is kind of unusual, but I'm not apologizing for it. I love it. It's our lifestyle, and I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon, and that is unhurried errands. We pretty much get out of the house every day. It's just so good for all of us, I feel. The way I grew up, my mom would kind of run errands all in one day and just get everything boom, boom, boom. And yes, while that's probably better for your gas budget, I've learned that breaking errands up into small parts, especially with little children, it just goes so much better. It's much more fun, and it's an excuse to get out of the house. And you don't have to rush. You know how that is when you're getting kids in and out of the vehicle over and over again to stop at the post office and then go to the grocery store and then drop something off here or there. And you never get as much done in the time you thought you would. It's just always kind of chaotic. Maybe one day we'll go to the store and let Fletcher pick out his birthday decorations, or another day we'll stop at the fabric store, or another day we'll pick up some stuff for my fox sparrow shop and then stop at a park. It's just unhurried errands where you can stop and see the goats on the other side of the fence, or play at the nearby park, or go get the groceries and stop to watch the construction workers building the new car wash across the way. It's taking errands and turning them into mini adventures, and I just love that. And yes, we have been known to make up our own errands, like, okay, let's go to the library today, or let's go to the Mennonite craft store and just pick up 1 pack of markers or something. If we're getting out of the house, it's something we need, but it's an odd thing maybe, but it's really life-changing if you haven't done it. I just enjoy getting out of the house, and the kids really love it too. And when you do it in small doses, it's so much more manageable. And I think the emphasis is not on the errands, but on the unhurried part of it. Okay, so we're working through my day here, and now we're getting towards the evening. Another non-negotiable is a check-in with my husband every day, and this started so unintentionally, and I realized that, yeah, it is a daily non-negotiable for us, and that is, for me and for my husband, each of our days can look so different from each other. Like each day looks so different for me, and each day looks so different for him, and I feel like that makes life interesting. We get to, connect and talk about our day and stuff. Well, that doesn't usually happen right when he gets in the door. We usually do take the time to talk quickly and just check in, see how our energy levels are, what our intentions are for the evening, if we have things we have to get done, if somebody needs to run an errand, or if somebody is busier than another one. And then we'll kind of like bat things around, and he takes some stuff, I'll take other stuff. If I'm busy, he might clean up the dishes from the supper, or if he's busy, I'll take the kids with me and just get some evening projects done or hang out with the kids. We kind of tag team it in the evenings. We're not often all together as a family. I would like that to change as summer comes, but I feel like right now in this season of life, it's a lot of tag teaming from that like 5:30 to 7:30 hours. And so, yeah, that's just kind of what works for us. And I feel like having that intentional talking time quickly while I'm getting supper on the table or whatever to check in, see what's up, and how we can help each other out. I won't take a ton of time on this next one, but that is to drink my water. That is definitely a non-negotiable, but I actually make an effort. I feel like some people out there just, drink their water and whatever. I actually am consciously making an effort most of the time to drink more water. I will just be like, okay, I'm gonna drink till I get to the red light up here and see how much I can get down. Or I'll infuse a berry tea bag into my cold ice water and just make it a little more flavorful. I will get a new water bottle or a better nozzle so that I can drink better. It's just on top of mind most of the time. And so, yeah, I'm actually making an active effort, and I think we all should. Okay, one of my daily non-negotiables that is a favorite of my husband's is that I will cook my husband a meal that he loves for supper time. For the most part, my husband and I have very different tastes when it comes to food. There's a lot of things that I enjoy that he does not. So I will cook those for lunch for the kids and for me, because I want them to learn to like all different kinds of things. But at the end of the day, I feel like my husband works really hard, and when he comes home from work and I'm experimenting on him, I feel like sometimes that's all he has to look forward to in the evenings, is a good home-cooked meal. So I do, for the most part, try to only cook things that I know he will enjoy or have a good hunch that he will enjoy. A lot of favorites. He's very easy to please in the fact that he doesn't expect like new and innovative meals all the time for supper, and he eats leftovers. So if I make a roast beef and it lasts us for 2 or 3 dinners, he's more than happy. He loves that. Or if I plan burgers, I'll plan enough burgers to be grilled for 2 nights. Yeah, so he's very easy in that way, but I have to try to make an active effort to cook good food for him in the evenings, because it's more fun that way too. I mean, it's also when your spouse is appreciative of what you cooked, right? So if there's something that I want to eat, I will make it for lunch. My husband doesn't really prefer hobo packets with the cheeseburger and the veggies in a packet in the oven. So my kids love it, I love it, we'll have that for lunch. It's no big deal, It's not that hard to juggle things around, and it's definitely a non-negotiable, I feel, for me. It just makes me feel like I'm being the good wife with minimal effort, Another non-negotiable that happens throughout the day is chore parties. I feel like you have to earn your kids' trust with these though. I call it a chore party, and they come to me and I give them a job and they do it, and then they come to me and I give them another one. It's very fast paced, and we move, and we're all working together as a team, and it's like hustle. But you have to earn their trust in making it short spurts. To a child, half an hour of chores can feel like an eternity. So we do it usually in short spurts. I'll be like, chore party, and they have to come running. And if they don't, then we practice and make them practice again. When I say chore party, you come running. When I say jump, you say how high. I just kind of delegate out things for them to do. And this is something I implemented because my kids are so good at playing by themselves. Honestly, they could be in their toy room or their bedroom or the basement and just play for hours and hours, and I wouldn't hear anything out of them. It is a wonderful blessing, but then I'm also not training them very well in homemaking and life skills if I don't make an effort to call them down to come and help. And they'll sometimes try to pull the wool over my eyes and be like, but mommy, we're helping so nice with the baby. I'm like, yeah, but you know, you got to learn some life skills here too. So chore parties is where it's at for us with the ages and stages of our kids when they're at. I haven't really done chore charts or anything like that. I just like to see what needs to happen in the moment. And something I'd like to work on more in the future is also training their eyes to see what they can do by asking questions like, what do you see that could happen right now? And see if they can see the work in front of their faces, because I feel like that is a very underrated life skill. Tuck-in time is a very non-negotiable for us. It looks a little bit different some nights, and I'm not gonna really show you this. I feel like this is an intimate family time, you know, but I will try to tuck each of the kids in every night, say a prayer with them, maybe talk about their day. My daughter always likes to have a story told, and my son is always like, let me tell you about my day. And so I sit there and listen to his, it's so interesting to hear his thoughts as he processes what happened throughout the day. I feel like he's not as talky as my daughter, but get him in the evening when he's trying to stall and not have to go to sleep yet. He suddenly becomes very chatty. So anyway, I love it. It's fine. Yeah, I just cherish those tuck-in times every night, and I'm just so glad my kids are still at the age where I can hug them and kiss them and put them to bed. I know those days only last so long. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. One last thing that you might not have seen in this one is making my bed. I have mixed feelings about this. Yes, I finally have my room renovated. It is so beautiful. I now do actually make my bed every day. Every day as in like 6 out of 7 days of the week, I guess. But I did not put that in this video because it has not been a non-negotiable for me for the past 9 years, I would say. I would make it when I felt like it. I like to air my bed out, I would say. Like, it just didn't bother me if my room was a mess because it was ugly. But now that I have a pretty room, I feel like it's so rewarding to have my bed made. But I will say, switching from being a non-bed maker to a bed maker, I don't see the hype, guys. It's not like it feels like it sets me up for my day. I feel like getting dressed and combed does that for me. It's not really the making of the bed that's doing it. So if you're not a bed maker, I just want to give you a little pass. I get you, I understand. I know there's so many people online that are like, you gotta make your bed. That's like the most important thing of the day. Yes, I do think Ma Ingalls probably made her bed every day, but that's because her bed was like in the kitchen probably. It was a one-room cabin, you know? Whatever, you do what works for you, and that's my challenge with you for this video. Don't make any of my daily non-negotiables yours just because they're mine. Did you follow that train of thought? You are the expert of your home, of your family, and nobody on the internet can really tell you what your daily non-negotiables should be. So I had fun in this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And check out my videos about habits of a highly successful homemaker. If you have not, they are super popular on my channel, and I know they'll give you a lot more habits and practical little tips that you can implement throughout your day. So thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone. Okay guys, I want to be open about just one more thing, just in case you feel like you need someone to relate to. I'm putting it at the end, so hopefully nobody watches this, but I gotta get it off my chest. Some nights, a lot of nights actually, I go to bed and the house is not picked up the whole way. I mean, I have more energy in the morning. I'd rather deal with it in the morning. In the evening, I just want to go to bed. I want to tuck my kids in bed and go to bed, and I will get up in the morning and do it in the morning. I feel like I have much more like energy in the morning. It's just like an easy menial task to get the day going, empty the dishwasher, pick up the things that the kids left out the night before. Yep, I just got my daughter on the bus and I have all kinds of stuff to tidy up. Hey, we all got to do what we got to do, I guess, right? And I'm not a night owl. There you have it. I hope you still come back next time. Bye, everyone.